Hey, everybody, it's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan. It has been super exciting today in the East, and I think the West is going to feel very surprised. They're going to feel that rush when they wake up and realize that the price on their project has risen. In fact, XRP rose all the way to $1.19 just about an hour ago. It is taking a little bit of a breather, but so is Bitcoin. They seem to be very tied to the hip right now. At the time of this recording, Bitcoin is at 47,000. It is really trying to push up towards 48. The whole entire market cap is over 2 trillion. It's just fantastic. So this unbelievable pump was underway with so many projects. Even XDC was in the top 3 in terms of performance when you look at the top 100 by market cap. So we've got VeChain, Cardano, Zilliqa, Doge, XLM, Hedera Hashgraph, Tezos, everybody showing a very strong performance. And so when we take a look at what's happening in the crypto space, there's a lot as usual. Jimmy James Filan, he was all over the media today, including in Japan. Yeah, I found out that his family loves that nickname, and I think it kind of stuck for them as well. Well, if you are following his Twitter feed, you can tell he has an active presence within the XRP community, as it was described in this Finance Feed article. And it is because of the document that he published. And it is really fantastic because it's a list of the up and coming due dates for the SEC versus Ripple case. So we have a big day coming on Monday, August 16th, where we get Ripple's response to the SEC with the Slack communications. They want all the communications in full. And that may occur in a conference. We don't know yet. Stay tuned to Mr. Filan's Twitter feed, because he will, I'm sure, post that number. If it is something that we'll be able to listen to, you can be sure that you're getting that information on a timely basis at Filan Law. And then also, too, the very next day on Tuesday, the SEC gets to respond to the conference that was requested by Ripple regarding the SEC's improper assertion to call everything that they have in the way of communications as complete privilege. They don't want to share anything. And then, of course, we will then see the end of the fast discovery on August 31st. And then we have the expert discovery deadline on October 15th. So what we're still waiting for is whether the court will hold a telephone conference. So definitely keep watch on this site. Also, the motion to intervene, that is with Attorney John Deaton. Then we are waiting on the SEC's motion to strike Ripple's lack of due process and fair notice, affirmation defense. And the last thing is the individual defendant's motion to dismiss the SEC's first amended complaint. So yeah, it's going to be a really action-packed week, I am sure. So I have a question for you. Have you ever sent a tip in the Sum app that you use with your smartphone, and then you can send XRP, USD, Euro, or even Casino Coin now? Have you ever tried? Because it's super, super easy. And it's so something I want everyone to try. And you can find the instructions that is easy, 1, 2, 3 steps on tipbot.tips. And the reason why I bring this up is because today, Lynn Alden, a global macro expert, I don't think anybody would argue, she is one of the brightest minds that blends finance and engineering. She asked, if you wanted to send exactly 10 cents to someone online, how would you do it? And I just couldn't wait to answer her. Hi, Lynn, you're 10 cents richer. Sent online using the XRP ledger. It arrived in 3 to 5 seconds. You didn't need to be online. There was no pre-funded channels, because Lightning, that has pre-funded channels. It's incredibly green, as most of us all know, and it used the Sum wallet, which is non-custodial. That's so important. We especially have learned how important it is when we have learned that there are some exchanges that are not going to participate in the songbird token distribution. Well, if you keep your custody to yourself and not depend on a third-party exchange, you don't ever have to worry about not being able to participate in a airdrop, because you are controlling your keys. And the Sum app is really super easy to use. It is with a QR code, and I just love it. I don't know if you were on Twitter today and followed the drama in regards to whether you have to be online. You also have to be online, the receiver and the sender at the same time, when using Lightning Network. But there is a so-called expert out there. Her name is Frances Coppola. She has been infamous in the sector of payments because she claims she's an expert. And she insisted today that you had to be online with both parties at the same time with using your hard wallets. And so many people tried to tell her that that wasn't the case, and she was just continuing to insist that it was the case. She's pretty famous in the XRP community because back in 2019, she wrote an article that the Nostro accounts weren't a problem, and that really this whole freeing up capital in that correspondent banking model was not a problem, even though the BIS and many people since she wrote that article have stated that it is a problem. That is what XRP solves. It is able to free up that capital by accessing XRP, the digital asset, as on-demand liquidity. And so the trillions that are tied up out there is a really big problem for banks, and especially the smaller banks. And you just wouldn't know how she came at me like a bulldog when I challenged her back in 2019. She even wrote an article, posted it on her blog, but that article has been since removed because it turns out that the article that she wrote for Forbes, and she doesn't write anymore for Forbes, was totally inaccurate. Anyway, she is one to really get nasty on Twitter. And so today, so many people tried to, in I think a lot of different ways, to tell her that she was not correct. She has made her Twitter feed now completely private. You have to ask permission and be approved in order to follow her. So she really stepped in a big one today. All right, this is interesting because we have the chip giant Intel. It was revealed that they have bought shares in Coinbase. They have disclosed, it was Friday, that they own 3,014 shares. And that's a pretty big deal, really, when you start to see this kind of business being put into the treasuries of a lot of very respectable companies. Now, whatever you say about Coinbase, and yeah, there were some crazy tweets going on today about their slowness and lack of processing transactions on a timely basis. I really tried to drill down to find out what was going on, because there was definitely a lot of reports of unhappy users, but also in balance to that, there were some people who said that they didn't have any problem at all. So maybe it was on a case-by-case basis. I don't know, but they're famous for when it gets really, really busy and we get these price action surges. They have a very big problem handling the traffic. Well, they just published their Q2 2021 results. Revenue is up 26%. That they had in that quarter a little bit over 2 billion in revenue. Gosh, these exchanges are very profitable, and especially Coinbase, because they have 68 million verified users. But what stood out for me was actually something that was in their summary. They wrote that 13% of Americans have traded crypto versus 28% have traded stocks. That's pretty high, I thought. You know, it's getting higher. We're seeing we're just seeing a lot of people coming into the crypto space. They call it an inflection point, that it's been reached, and that they think crypto is mainstream now. Also, most crypto forward people are using DeFi and will be used by mainstream customers soon, and then by institutions soon after that. So those were two of their statements in the summary that I thought were super interesting. All right, there is also a couple of new reports coming from the blockchain block data company, and it's about blockchain and crypto and banks. And these two reports, also, I pulled out some of those nuggets and shared them with everyone. 55 of the top 100 banks with the assets under management have invested in crypto and or blockchain companies. That's a lot. That's a lot. Barclays being number one with 19 projects that they've got their fingers into, and Standard Chartered is the number one spender. They have spent 380 million thus far. And then 23 of those top 100 banks are either building or investing in custody solutions. And the third one is Ripple. It ranks number 3 as companies that have received investments from big banks, 392.9 million. So what's interesting, I think, on that last point is it clearly shows big banks do believe in the Ripple business model, which most definitely hangs its hat on XRP and the on-demand liquidity solution. It is the key magic sauce for moving money. And today there was a headline that I agreed with. If Cardano gets it right, we could still see it rally a couple 100% after. I agree with that. And the reason why I agree is because Charles made an announcement today on his surprise AMA just after he appeared as a guest on Crypto Banter, which, man, had Michael Arrington, he was firing on all cylinders as usual. What we mean by that, it's an American term that is describing somebody who is lively, high-spirited, and feisty. He is the epitome of all of those three adjectives. And yeah, the date for going live with Cardano's smart contracts is September 12th. That's a go live date. So yeah, the people who have been calling ADA a ghost chain, I think are going to have to eat their words. We'll see though, right? We'll see. But I think they're on track. All right, talk about lively. Yeah, this was Jordan Harry and Bearable Bull. They are full of this positive energy, and they joined my Patreon group yesterday, and James Rule XRP also popped in. We had a lot of fun for a couple of hours. It was very memorable, and I just want to tell you that if you are interested in following Bearable Bull, he's kind of moving into his next chapter in the crypto space. He's got, of course, his Udemy, his Twitter, his TikTok, his Instagram, and his OnlyFans.com. So, and he's just one person. I really admire his positive energy, and he's a character. So, another person who is in the space that I also truly enjoy is Kevin Cage. I never miss a video from him. And today I just really had a big smile with this tweet. Post the 4 words every girl once whispered in her ear. So sometimes you think it's like, will you marry me, right? No, no, no. The answer that at Paul Hinch 2, I don't know if I can show you his, where are you, Paul? I can show you, I don't know if that's how he says it, but Paul had the best answer. His answer was, it should be right about here. Let me see. There it is, right here. Paul, and it looks like I think it's HINCH. Yeah, that's what it looks like. So he said the 4 words were, here's my private keys. That one made me laugh. Really, I think that was clever. All right, a little speculation now, okay? I'm going to finish this out with a little speculation. There is a crypto exchange, OKCoin. OKCoin is also the coin or the exchange that Tony at Thinking Crypto is working with. They are going to tap FIS subsidiary WorldPay to lead global expansion. So what is this? Well, FIS is a solid Ripple partner, all right? And they now wholly own WorldPay. And the reason why OKCoin chose to expand with WorldPay is because of their experience with crypto. And OKCoin wants to activate new channels of payments, and they process 2 trillion, that's with a T, in annual transactions. It's huge. So this caught my attention because, of course, Bitso, the exchange down in Mexico, is an ODL partner, and they facilitate that XRP for that movement of money. And they were able to really grow their value and their business big time by adding payments and on-demand liquidity. So because of the connection to FIS, I thought, well, maybe they are going to be a facilitator of on-demand liquidity. So I reached out to Lathan. Lathan is the dev that is behind the 3xrp.dev site. And I asked him if he could track for me that exchange, and can we see if there's any indication of on-demand liquidity. He's getting very good at tracking. And he said that what he really needed was to have a deposit address, an active deposit address. So I went on to OKCoin, I opened up an account, and I went to go fund it with my XRP, but snap, I got this, we are sorry, deposits of XRP is temporarily paused due to a node upgrade. Please try again later. So I sent a message to Tony asking him if he knew anything about this, because I'm not going to give up. And I think if there is something going on, Lathan will find it. And here we have the pronunciation of Siam or Siam Commercial Bank. This is a SCB video in Thailand. I want you to listen carefully. And I don't know, I have had so many different answers on this. Listen to how they pronounce their name. All right, listen carefully.
Siam Commercial Bank.
Siam Commercial Bank. We'll listen one more time.
Siam Commercial Bank.
Yeah. So I don't know, but I did get one answer from somebody who I very much communicate with on a pretty regular basis. He lives in Thailand, and his wife said that, wow, we just call it SCB. So maybe I should just call it SCB, and I will be safe. All right. Miniature Calendar by Tatsuya Tanaka. Oh, I just want to share with you again some of his work. This is new work that he has done. And look at his studio here. He's a Japanese artist, author, photographer, and he shows us the beauty in little things, miniatures. And he has this immense library of tiny things. Look at that, how organized he is. I guess you'd have to be, because there's over 2 million little tiny things that he has, that he's made. He does use at times a 3D printer to create the little people, but then he creates this uh, scene and recreates the very common everyday occurrences that I think everybody knows with, you know, your life scenes that you can relate to in a very small perspective, but always with some funny things. And I will show you really quick here some of the, we've got a moving cat here. We've got some new ones that he uploaded on his website. This is great, isn't it? This is a blue, of course, baseball glove that's being used to look like a rip curl, and then he's got the surfer in here. So this is one of the newer ones, and this one I just loved, dominoes, and it's in the scene of a kitchen where you're got the counter and the galley and the kitchen view, and they're using the domino as the range. I just love it. It's just too creative. He really thinks in such an interesting, creative way. Here's an avocado, and the pit is the island with someone kind of sunbathing underneath the palm tree, and two people in the water playing with a beach ball. Funny. And the last one I thought was really hysterical. Two kids, but just look closely. This one is of garlic that is representing the aroma. This little boy is holding his nose. Oh, funny stuff. All right, everybody, do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.